Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are in our guest bedroom, the one that does not have a door. And we've been using this curtain for quite a while, but I'm so excited because we recently did a room rescue episode for Haley and Sam, and we did like the moodiest bedroom. Now we're not going to quite do that because we do feel like we have kind of a darker hallway coming into the house, and so we do want to just kind of play off whatever light we can capture. And so I don't want to fully darken this room, but I do want to make it a little bit more interesting because right now it's pretty, but it's just kind of like a blank slate. So today we are actually going to be adding in a new bed that will give us a lot more storage in here. And then we also are going to change up this wall. We're going to be changing out the rug. Like, we have a whole lot of stuff to get done. But also tomorrow we are getting new doors installed. And I cannot wait because although this curtain has technically worked for us, it'll be nice to actually let our guest close the door and have a little bit more privacy. So we have a ton to get done. Let's do it.
Lost, but here I go. I might need a miracle. I got big dreams and a small bank account, but somehow I always figure it out. I'm so glad I took care of myself. Yeah, I'm really proud that I stood my ground. Thought I'd try.
Okay, so as you can see, the before, it really is still kind of a put together room. However, I feel like it's lacking function, and because things were done in this space at different times, like at one point we added in a bed, at a different point we added in a dresser, at other points we added in the storage closet area, and so there are just a lot of kind of things that don't fully feel cohesive in the space, I guess. And then also I do want to add the function of especially the new bed frame. I think that's kind of what started this all, was I really wanted to add more function into the space. And then of course, like the doors that we're adding in, and then everything else. It's kind of nice when you're able to do a full makeover all at once. And the reason I like to do that is, although it is a bit more consuming of yourself to get everything done all at once or in a couple of days, it also just helps to create a more cohesive space in my mind, because otherwise it's easy to kind of add things in randomly, and I feel like you can kind of lose sight of what you really wanted your space to be and just you're adding in random pieces. So anyway, I really am excited for this. We are going to go a little bit more moody in this bedroom. However, like I was mentioning, I don't want it to be a dark space because I feel like we kind of have a dark hallway in our entry area, and so I want to kind of trick your eye, like make it feel more moody and yet still be bright and airy. Does that make sense? It kind of goes against each other, but I think it's going to be incredible.
Now I can tell, 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 I can tell. Oh, I can tell.
All right, everything is nice and cleared out in here. So our big project for today is actually to add a little wall of like a half wall kind of board and batten. It's actually going to be the same that we did in Liam's bathroom upstairs. So I'll actually link that video up here if you guys haven't seen it. We did that, gosh, like a year ago. Time just flies. So we're gonna have the board and batten go up to about here. I think it ends up being around 5 feet tall. And then we're gonna just have like a trim piece right here with a little ledge. It will look so pretty. And one thing I'm so excited about with this is we are going to be painting the board and batten that same color that we did in the room rescue bedroom makeover. It was like season 1, episode 3. So I'll link that video also up here as well. It was Sherwin-Williams Urbane Bronze, and I love that color. It's like so moody and so earthy, and it's beautiful, and I'm excited because it's gonna give a lot of depth and like interest into this room, but still keep things light.
When we first moved into the house, we had the house sealed for scorpions. So the thing with living in Arizona is scorpions get into your house, they climb in through the walls, and any gap that's thicker than a credit card they can get through, is what they told us. They go through your entire house and put caulking all around every outlet, every seal, every cover, every switch plate, everything they can find. Basically, they were here all day. The downside is you can't just undo these screws and pull it off because there's caulking all through here, so we have to break the seal by cutting it with our knife. And then once we're done, we have to go reseal it again because we don't want any scorpions getting in the house.
One thing that I love about beadboard is that I feel it's more of like a traditional vibe. Like it's not very trendy. I mean, I think it kind of is on trend right now, but it also is something that you've seen in older homes, you've seen in newer homes, all throughout the span of time. Like beadboard has been a thing. And so I love that it's kind of a more timeless classic look because I really don't want to spend all this time and effort and money on our home and then in a few years be like, well, now we have to change it because it's completely dated. So that is another reason that I love beadboard. I just love those kind of timeless pieces. Okay, so we're about to start assembling everything on the wall. The thing is I want to paint the board a little bit. So we're gonna take it outside, paint that real quick. Now the thing about this is typically we would just put the beadboard right directly on top of the baseboard. However, I wanted to get a little extra height in here just because we have some taller ceilings. And so because of that, I wanted to get a little extra height. So we just added this little board. It actually curves in, so it goes right up against the baseboard and it'll look really nice right there. And then obviously when it's all painted, it'll just like look really nice and flush. But I do want to paint like the edging of all the beadboard and everything so I don't have to spend a ton of time and effort cutting in.
You said to me, we'll be alright. I know these things just take some time. I wish that I had spoke my mind before we said goodbye. I'm missing you right now. You know
The lights are off and we're about to cut holes for the outlets in here. So wish us luck.
right now. I'm missing you.
So I just very quickly wanted to give an overview of the process of installing a board and batten. So we have done this several times, so I feel like we're not new to this process at this point. However, what you want to do is go to your local hardware store, pick up a piece of board and batten, whatever sizing you're needing, and then you're just going to cut that down to whatever height you're wanting. So for us, we are just cutting these in half. That gives us the proper height for us. And then we also get the most use out of one sheet of board and batten. And then to make it look a little bit more complete, we are adding in a trim piece on top and then a little ledge on top as well. And that's just going to make it look really nice and finished for just a few extra dollars. And to install the board and batten, you can either use something like liquid nails or you can use a nail gun, and we are opting for the nail gun this time.
And all the things we left and said keep running through my head. I'm missing you right now. You know it's true.
Alrighty, we are of course rolling into day 2, but we have almost the full wall done. Kaya was actually up late last night caulking it. We had to wait for it to dry, so it is looking a bit rough, but I just have to put 1 or 2 quick coats of paint on it and it'll actually look really, really good. And then we'll be letting that dry, bringing in a rug, building the new bed frame. And actually Kyle currently is in the living room working on building the nightstands just because that's kind of like the best use of time. But we're in a bit of a time crunch because the guys that are coming to install our new door, they're coming in like 2.5, 3 hours. So we want to get as much done as we can before they get here. So fingers crossed we can just really book it and get a lot of progress done. But I'm so excited today because we are going to definitely get the bed in, the rug in, the new bedding, which I'm so excited to be teaming up with Bedsure once again. You guys know I've loved Bedsure for years and years. We've had a ton of Bedsure products in the past, but whenever we did Haley and Sam's bedroom makeover, it was our most recent room rescue makeover, and their bedding was so luxurious and so beautiful. So to be able to give that to our guests just makes me so excited. I'm still jealous. I want that in our bed. So maybe, fingers crossed, we can get some in our room too. But anyway, we have a lot to get done. So let's start painting. All right, we do still obviously have to do 1 to 2 more coats on the wall. Probably just 1, but I think that'll make a huge difference. But we are gonna go ahead and just keep going while that dries. So we're gonna bring the rug in and then we'll start building the bed, which is super cool because it's like a lift up bed. So it has storage underneath.
If only I had listened for a while.
If you have been a subscriber for a while, you know that we are always doing different house projects around our own house and others, but especially around our own house. And because I film all of these, we don't always just go to the store, get the item we need, and then come home and do it. It's like we get the item, I prepare for it, plan for it, and then a few weeks later, I might be like, okay, now it's time, we can go ahead and get this done. And so for that reason, this guest bedroom and my office also kind of becomes a big catch-all for upcoming projects. And so that's a main reason that I wanted this bed with storage. This bed was only $200, which I think is a steal because it's actually really well made and it gives you that storage. But I think it's just going to add so much function and help this space stay cleaner and not feel so much like a drop zone. As soon as the mattress was on, I was so excited to get all our bedsure bedding put on our bed. As you might know, we have actually used bedsure bedding for years and years. I've had it on our guest bed, I've put it on our boys' bed, we've had it all around. We just did a full bedroom makeover on Sam and Haley's home and we added in the most gorgeous bedsure bedding. And so I have been so beyond excited to be able to add this bedding into our guest bedroom for our guests. And I'm so thankful to be teaming up with Bedsure in today's video. So the first layer that I used is this nice plush mattress topper. This is waterproof, so it's going to protect our mattress and it's also going to give a little extra cushion as you're sleeping in the bed. Then of course I added in the bamboo and linen sheet set. These have been my favorite sheets from them. They are so luxurious. They are like soft and silky, but they're also very cooling and they have tons and tons of different options on their website. Next I laid this beautiful velvet quilt. This is so soft and it feels so incredible as you're sleeping in it because yes, I definitely have already slept in this bed and tried it out. And then over that I added in this cotton waffle weave comforter set and I love the plush feel and the texture that this adds. And then right on top of that, I added in this bubble faux fur blanket. This is beautiful and I love, again, like the texture that it adds. Even though it is a similar color, it just breaks up the bedding a little bit more. And anytime you can add extra layers into your bedding, it's just going to make it feel so much more luxurious and so much more thought out and put together. But I do have like a love-hate relationship with a bunch of extra throw pillows on your bedding just because it's not a functional item. So one thing that I love about this setup is it's very beautiful. It's very welcoming and inviting. It looks stunning and so attractive, and yet every single piece on here is a very useful item, so you're not like at the end of the day having to toss a bunch of stuff off. You're going to be able to sleep with and use all of this bedding. I actually really wish that you guys could feel this bedding for yourself like through this video because it truly is so soft and such high quality. But if you are in need of some new bedding, I cannot recommend Bedsure enough. I do have a 15% off coupon for you guys as well, so use my code Amanda15 and that will save you even more money on their website. So I'm going to leave that link down below. You can check out all the bedding that we got along with all the other amazing bedding options that they have on their website. All right, it is finally time. We are getting in some new doors and oh my gosh, you guys, these doors turned out so incredibly amazing. I just love them so much. So we went with like a double barn door style, but we made it a little bit more modern. So we had them painted black as opposed to going for like that rustic wood look. And we also had them incorporate some frosted glass so that it would just let that light through and also make it not feel so heavy since these doors are quite large. So I absolutely love these doors. You guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments. Alrighty, it's a new day, and actually my mom is coming in tomorrow, so we really got to get this together. But the bedding is so beautiful. Noah actually fell asleep in here last night, and it was the cutest thing. He was like so snuggled up. He was just so peaceful sleeping in this bed, so I made it all up today. It's looking just as beautiful, and we now have doors, and they're soft close. How cool is that? It's nice actually because it is frosted glass, so it still allows light to go in and out of the room, but you cannot see anything at all. Like Kyle tried to stand right up against it and I couldn't see his face at all. So it's like full privacy, but still you get light. Then on the side door, you have like top to bottom frosted glass, and then on the door itself, it's like about 2/3 glass. So anyway, that's how it looks now, and I love it. I think it's perfect. We didn't have to, you know, drill anything into the floor. We didn't have to do any like huge renovations. It just custom built these doors, and it's beautiful. I will put the information of the door builder guys down below if you want to check them out if you're in the Phoenix area. They were super professional, and they just do like such beautiful work. So anyway, I love them. And now we have actual doors, so we can get rid of this guy right here. So I'm gonna go over kind of what we have planned for today. We do have quite a bit of stuff to get done, but it's just little things. So it's nothing that's gonna take a long time. Like the bed took a while, obviously the DIY wood wall took a while. Today we are going to focus on kind of like the finishing touches. So the other day Kyle actually had built the nightstands. They are really pretty. They're a smaller frame, which is perfect because the ones we had in here before were actually our old ones in our bedroom. And those ones were really well made, but they were just too wide for this small bedroom. And so these ones are gonna fit the space a lot better. Also, the ones that we got were like $88 or $82 or something each. So they were under $100 each, and they're built really well. They are soft close. They have 2 drawers and a little shelf. Like, I think they're so pretty. So that's gonna be perfect. And then also we gave our lamps that we had in our guest bedroom to Sam and Haley when we did their primary bedroom makeover. And so we had to get different lamps for this room, but I think it's gonna be perfect because the ones that I chose are bright, and they're going to really contrast beautifully with the dark half wall right here. And then the other thing that I want to do is actually put up a little arch mirror to replace this one, and then put up some wall art and just do like little decorations. And I'm looking at my list, and I think, oh, so I had found these poles right here. They're actually really pretty. It's like marble on top and wood on bottom, but they just were not attached well like together. And so all of the marble on, I guess at least half of them has just completely come off, and they haven't held up that well. I got them from TJ Maxx years ago. So I actually got some really pretty and affordable poles from Amazon. So we're gonna go ahead and change those out. And even though it's a pretty small detail, I think it actually is going to elevate the room and just make it look a little bit more sophisticated. So we have a lot to get done. Let's do this. All right, one thing that I always say during my makeovers, and you might even be sick of hearing it, but truly do not overlook the details. I feel like a lot of times people feel like you have to focus on all of these big items, and yes, those do make a difference, but if you overlook all the details, like you are going to be missing out on so many little moments and so much interest that you can add in the space. And these are the things that I feel make a room look fully complete and fully put together, and it looks very intentional. People will come in and realize, wow, like you put a lot of effort and you put a lot of thought into every little tiny aspect of this room. So one of the things that helped me do that in this space was changing out these knobs, and oh my gosh, I just love them so much. I think they're so pretty. Also super random, but I just recently decluttered a ton of stuff in our home, and I'm still on my decluttering journey as always. But one of the things that I decluttered was actually all of my home decor in these closets. The before of this was awful, and now it's looking so nice and beautiful. So if you haven't seen that video and you need some decluttering motivation, I'll link that up top, but it's a good one. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is add in the lamps over here. Now I got these from Walmart. I would not actually recommend purchasing them online because I did that, and these lampshades are not super durable. Now they're gonna be great when they're sitting up. I don't think they're gonna be a problem. But when I ordered them online, I actually looked at reviews. Several of the reviews said I ordered them online and the lamp worked great, but the shade was all dented. And I was like, it'll be fine. Sure enough, I ordered mine online. Shades were completely dented. I don't even have any video of it, but I literally just had to go return them and then buy them in store. And now they're perfect. Like in store, they're beautiful, but don't order them online. I love all the texture that they add on the base, and then also the pleated lampshade. I think they're nice because they're not a really heavy lamp. Like they don't look really heavy. They don't take up a lot of space. They're also light, which I think is gonna look how pretty that is up against that dark wall. And then also I love the little speckles, which again kind of adds more texture to it. I love these, I think they're so cute. I have been so grateful for this curtain that has worked for us for a couple years, but I've also been so looking forward to the day when we can actually take it down, because that means we have doors in our guest room after 3.5 years of living here. Over here in this corner, I am just quickly refreshing the shelves with some decor that I already had. Most of it I think was thrifted, but just doing a few little tweaks here and there can again make a big difference in making your space feel really nice and refreshed. You can even pull decor from a different room, like even that will make such a big difference. Okay, one of the final things that I want to do is actually put up some wall art behind the bed. I got these. This comes in a set of 2 for $15. I used these actually at my sister Casey's house last week in like her Christmas decorate. And then I also used these in Sam and Haley's bedroom with some really pretty actually little canvas pieces that I had. So I'm gonna do them in here too. I have 2 packs, so I'll have 1 left over. I just went on Etsy, found some different prints that you can just download digitally. Then you take it to like Walgreens, you can print them out same day. So it's super quick and easy, very affordable. And then again, like these are very affordable, like $7.50 each, but you can also thrift them. And if you have some, you can just use your own frames. But anytime you want to get like a bigger impact without kind of dominating a space, you can get actually larger prints or larger frames and then just get ones with like a larger mat and mat them down to a smaller picture. So in this case, these are 16 by 20 frames, so they're pretty substantial. But then I have just little 8 by 10 prints, and so see how it's going to still give the look of something, but it actually kind of looks a little bit more elegant. So that's what we're gonna go with. And the prints that I got, we'll see if I keep them or if I change them out for something else. I was just searching on my computer a little bit ago, actually like an hour ago, trying to figure out what exactly I wanted in this room, and I wasn't quite sure. And so I kind of landed on these like just like little vintage prints. Anyway, but the nice thing is it cost me like $5, I think, for all 3 of these. And then to get them printed was like $6. So I'm in at like $11, and I can always reuse those, reprint them, or I can use them in a different place.
Can't get my mind away from thoughts of you. 2 weeks ago today, you were just the girl I drew. And now I think it's time that we decide, lovers or friends, and we would be fools not to follow what our hearts suggest. So think it over and let me know, girl, 'cause you and I would be easier as us. Don't need 3 words, just one could sum us up. We're a couple of pins, when we touch, oh, you and I be easier as us. Oh, easier as us. Can't keep my hands away from holding yours. Your eyes like gravity keep pulling me close inside of your world. And I think it's time together we find a life of our own.
Okay, so to mark where we want this on the wall, we're gonna do the toothpaste method. So we just have whatever toothpaste you got, but what you're gonna do is mark right on the top of the screw hole on both sides with your toothpaste. And then basically what we're gonna do is flip the mirror around, level it, push it exactly where we want it, and it will leave little globs of toothpaste on the wall. And then it'll tell us exactly where we want our screw holes to be.
Think it over, let me know, girl, 'cause you and I will be easier as us. Don't tell what's up. We're a couple of pins, pairing when we touch. You and I, be easier as us. Oh, easier as us. Straight to the point, straight to the heart. I knew you were right from the start. You and I would be easier as us.
Alrighty, here is the before if you remember it. So it again wasn't like an awful space, but it was pretty bland. We didn't have anything really grabbing your attention in this space. The bed was just kind of sitting there. The rug was used from a previous home, so it wasn't really made for this room. And of course, we did not have the doors. And here is the after. Oh my gosh, you guys, I swoon every time I walk near this room now. It's one of my favorite spaces in the house currently, and I just love it to pieces. To start out, of course, let's talk about the doors. We got these beautiful custom-made barn doors. They are double barn doors with the panes of frosted glass, going full top to bottom on the sides, and then on the doors themselves, they're about 2/3 of the way up, and I think it's so beautiful. We also placed the doors at that outer edge of the wall so that it kind of made the room feel a little bit larger, having that extra space in the doorway. Now next, let's talk about the board and batten wall. This is beautiful because it really draws your eye in and it gives you a focal point and a place to rest your eye. I love that it has such a large contrast with the rest of the space. It has that beautiful urban bronze color, which is kind of like a dark grayish brown with green undertones, so it's very warm and inviting. And then the board and batten itself just adds so much texture and interest. Next up is the bed frame, and again, I cannot believe this bed frame was only $200. It is so well made. It's very functional because it has that underbed storage, and I love the modern style of it. And we cannot forget about this gorgeous, so soft and luxurious bedshirt bedding. It's so perfect. It matches the room beautifully, and what's even better than how it looks is how it feels, and I'm so excited for our guests to be able to snuggle up in this and just enjoy their stay with us that much more. Now next to the bed, I added in those sleek nightstands, and I love the rounded edges of them. Like, all the details of these are so beautiful. I feel like they look very high-end, and yet they only cost $80, which is an amazing deal for a pair of nightstands. And I also like that although they are dark, because of their size and styling, they aren't very heavy in the space. Right on top of those, I added in those beautifully textured lamps. Anytime you can add in layered lighting into a room, it's going to really elevate the space. We also added in those DIY wall prints above the bed, which I think again just kind of pulls your eye right into the center of the bed, making that your focal point. And then we grounded the entire space with this beautiful soft rug. It has kind of a velvet feel, and the coloring on it is just perfect. Then I just refreshed a few decor pieces around the room, most of which came from my own home that I already had. We added in those gold knobs over on the cabinets, which just kind of tied that into the room because we've added in a lot of those gold accent pieces. And then finally, I finished everything off with a tree that again we already had, and this beautiful budget-friendly large arch mirror with the gold trim. I feel like this just was the cherry on top. It opened up the room, it bounces light around the room even more, and I love the size of it, and I also love that it has that curved arch on the top, so it kind of breaks up all the square shapes that we have going around in the space. So anyway, that is the breakdown of this beautiful guest bedroom makeover. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do not forget to check out Bedshirt and take advantage of my 15% off coupon code. And if you are not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel for all the upcoming videos that I have planned, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!